books with Emily. Sing along, Hootenanny. We sing this show for you to see. Songs for you and songs for me. Songs for everybody. Songs for everybody. Hello, friends, and welcome to the Sing Books with Emily Sing Along Hootenanny Show, Episode 8, coming to you live from the Fairy Godmother studio. And today we are singing owl songs. Oh, I'm so excited about our theme today because I have always loved owls as a theme, as characters in folklore and in mythology, and just as the gorgeous creatures that they are. So I am so glad to have you here with me today. So I am going to tilt this up just a little bit so you can see the hat. I'm so excited about the hat, which I made this week out of a puppet that I bought from a wonderful illustrator named Tim Hopgood, whose incredible books you can find in at your local bookstore. We should always support independent local bookstores when we can, but you can find them online too and in booksellers. Okay, so let's see. Today, our first song is going to be 5 Little Owls. 5 little owls in an old elm tree, fluffy and puffy as owls can be, blinking and winking with big round eyes and a big round moon that hung in the skies. As I passed beneath, I could hear one say, "There'll be mouse for supper, there will today." Then all of them hooted, too-wit, too-hoo. Hoo, hoo. Can you hoot like an owl? Hoo. Yes, mouse for supper. Hoo, hoo, hoo. Ah, 5 little owls. So that is a very old rhyme, and I am sure that I heard a tune for that, but I adapted this one myself to make it my own. And oh, I wanted to share with you my wonderful owl whistle. It goes like this. What a wonderful sound they make. And so it's fun. Locally, we have some, I think they're spotted owls or they're barred owls that live in some woods nearby. And a very good friend of mine invites me over to her neighborhood to visit with the owlets when they are born, and the parents are teaching them how to be owls, and it is really fun to listen to the wonderful sounds. And it's different than that sound there, but how they communicate to let each other know that they're nearby. All right, so our next song is going to be The Wise Old Owl. And this is an old rhyme too. And it has very good advice. So if we listen to some of these rhymes, sometimes we can actually really learn something good. A wise old owl lived in an oak. The more she saw, the less she spoke. The less she spoke, the more she heard. Why can't we be like that wise old bird? Maybe you can try to sing it with me this time. Here we go. A wise old owl lived in an oak. The more she saw, the less she spoke. The less she spoke, the more she heard. Why can't we be like that wise old bird? Why can't we be like that wise old bird? Hoo, hoo. Oh, let's hear from our whistle again. All right, so I also wanted to share with you, I do also have a great interest in group names because it's the wonderful vocabulary can be gleaned from these wonderful words. And here's an example. This is Brian Wildsmith's birds, and he included owls. And in this, he calls them a stare of owls. So that is by Brian Wildsmith. But a group of owls can also be known as other things too. For example, here in this compendium of collective nouns, we can see that owls are called a I want to get this one in here. A parliament of owls. That's my favorite way to think of them because they're so stately and noble and knowledgeable. At least that's what folklore would tell us. So a parliament of owls. And I like how they have, you know, the old clock like in England, Big Ben. Okay, so then the last one is, I really love this one, the Illustrated Compendium of Amazing Animal Facts. And in here, they tell us a little bit of owls. And here they call a group of owls a parliament of owls also. And we learned some interesting things about them. Owls can rotate their heads almost 230 degrees, but they can't move their eyes. So that is why owls famously turn their heads the way they do, because they can't move their eyes to see like we can. They only can move their heads, so they rotate their heads to see. Owls have 3 eyelids, one for when they blink, one for when they sleep, and one for cleansing the eye. How interesting is that? Okay, so the next thing I really wanted to sing with you today is this wonderful song called Sweet Suffolk Owl. And the music was written by Thomas Vautour. I'm sorry, not the music. The poem was written by Thomas Vautour in the 17th century. That means the 1600s. But the music was written by Richard Hundley in the 20th century. So this is what you would call an art song. So it may sound a little different and slightly opera-y to some friends. Sweet Suffolk owl, so trimly dight with feathers like a lady bride. Thou singest alone, sitting by night. To whit, to whoo, to whit, to whoo, to whit, to whoo, to whit, to whoo. Thy note that forth so freely rolls, with shrill command the mouse controls. And singest a dirge, thou singest a dirge for dying souls. To wit, to whoo, to wit, to whoo, to wit, to whoo, to wit, to whoo. Sweet Suffolk Owl. And, you know, I kind of like that song also because it's slightly spooky. And since we are getting on towards Halloween and in the autumn, I think that that is a perfect sort of thing. All right, so let's see what else we have here. You know, this whole time I've forgotten to show you the posters because I've been so excited about our subject. So let's see, I will show you 5 little owls there. So when we sing along in person, we can sing along with these posters and you can see the words. And there we have a wise old owl. I particularly love this picture because it is by the Johnstone sisters, Janet and Anne Johnstone. And they just did the most amazing illustrations. And you can find their books. They're all used because they did their pictures in the 1970s. And so all of the books are out of print. But you can find them online and they are just absolutely wonderful. And now we have what I'm coming to. I'm so excited about this one. This is Woodsy Owl. I spoke to someone the other day who didn't know who Woodsy Owl is, and I certainly want everyone to know who Woodsy Owl is. Woodsy Owl is a character or a symbol of the United States Forest Service, right along with his very good friend Smokey Bear. But Woodsy Owl, his whole his modus operandi is to give a hoot, don't pollute. That's his slogan. Give a hoot, don't pollute. And he tries to get people to pick up trash, which is something that I'm quite passionate about too. So I was so excited when we were doing our owl theme, when I was researching things to do. I wanted to find his song because when I was a kid, a public service announcement was on TV with a very delightful song. And so I went to find it, and I hope that we can all learn to sing it together. And here is a picture I found of Woodsy, and I don't know what his little friend's name is, but his little friend is awfully cute, and I'll do a little research and find out what that is. Help Woodsy spread the word. Tell your friends what you've heard. No matter where you go, you can let some people know. Give a hoot, don't pollute. Never be a dirty bird. In the city or in the woods, help keep America looking good. Give a hoot, don't pollute. Hoot, hoot, help keep America looking good. Hoot, hoot. Oh, I hope you will give a hoot and don't pollute, because America, our beautiful, beautiful country, and we don't want to mess it up with ugly garbage. So we should reduce, reuse, and recycle. Okay, so let's see, what do we have next? Okay, I really like this one too. This is, let me tell you who did this wonderful picture. I have it here. Oh, John Alcorn. So he's another wonderful, I guess you could call his pictures sort of 1960s or mid-century modern. And he illustrated a couple wonderful books of children's songs, and including a song about an owl. I don't think this song went with this particular rhyme, but I just love the owl, so I kept it. Oh, by the way, the Give a Hoot, Don't Pollute song uses the music from, what is his name? Oh, Leroy Anderson. Leroy Anderson does wonderful compositions, or he did wonderful compositions. One of the most famous ones is The Typewriter, but he also did a very famous composition called the Syncopated Clock, and I'm very interested in making a video for the Syncopated Clock, so I will be working on that. But the Woodsy Owl song uses an adaptation of one of the melodies from the Syncopated Clock, so that was a very delightful thing to discover, and I think you will enjoy noticing that this particular song uses the music or the tune from Simple Gifts. There's a wise old owl with a pointed nose, two pointed ears, and claws for his toes. He sits in a tree and he looks at you. He flaps his wings and he says, hoo, hoo. Pointed ears and claws for his toes. He sits in a tree and he looks at you. He flaps his wings and he says, hoo, 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 hoo. So when we hoot together, hoo, 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 we can be together a parliament of owls. Oh, what a wonderful word, parliament, and a parliament of owls. It's fun to think of them all together, making decisions and being wise and having lots of knowledge the way an owl group, a parliament of owls should. Okay, friends, I can't believe how fast this time went. I enjoyed this particular theme so much, and I'm just so glad to have my friends to sing with me. After we are done today, I will upload this program to YouTube, and you can find an entire playlist of so far our 8 sing-along hootenannies, and I hope that you will continue to sing with me every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. here on Facebook Live, and then later multiple times on YouTube. And all of these songs that you find in this particular video, you will find on my blog, and we can sing those together anytime you want. If you're interested in finding more about the songs, how to sing along, how to play along, and I'm so glad to have you guys with me. Okay, so I'm going to turn this over because it's slightly different for saying goodbye. We sang books with Emily. Sing along, Hootenanny. We sang this song for you to see. Songs for you and songs for me. Songs for everybody. Songs for everybody. Thank you so much, friends, and I'll see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.